Welcome to a balancy, flowy yoga class right here on your mat. Today, you're gonna need stretchy clothes, something comfy to move in, an open mind, because we're balancing, of course, and your yoga mat. For Shavasana, at the end, you might choose to have a sweater, some layers, a blanket, eye pillow, maybe some nice warm socks. And if you like it, use a little essential oil roller or a room spray to set that atmosphere. Let's get started in Shavasana. Come on down onto the mat here. Allowing yourself to settle comfortably here onto the mat. Draw your shoulders back and down, choosing to flip your palms upward or downward. Eyes can soften or close, maybe drawing your gaze onto one spot. And notice the stillness that surrounds you. Or maybe noticing some noises that surround you. Observing how your body feels. Are there any spaces here that are holding tension or stiffness? See if you can consciously release and relax those spaces. We will always start our practices and end our practices right here in this space, Shavasana. Easy breath. Tune in with your energy levels. Tune in with what's on your mind, what's on your heart. And for a moment today in this practice, I'll take you out of your head and into your body, observing your feet as they connect into the earth, into the mat, into the ground. And noticing your balance that requires such focus and determination. That even if your mind is toiling with some feelings, some stressors, some negativity, you'll be taken out of that space while connecting to your balance. My intention for us is to be playful with this balance. Move in a way that feels good for you. My words are just a guide. You can always have a chair nearby for an aid in your balance if you know that things are a little wobbly for you in this day. Start to connect to your breath. Let's have fun with this. Find some movement into the fingers and toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Sway the head side to side. And when you feel ready, stretch the body tall and long, reaching your arms. Exhale to sink down. And let's hug both knees in towards you. Massage your low back into the mat, rocking gently from side to side. And from here, we'll come into a hip opener. You're welcome to come into happy baby pose, reaching for your feet, your ankles, or the backs of your thighs. Or maybe coming into a butterfly pose, pulling those feet in towards you, guiding your knees out away from you. A nice juicy hip opener, opening into the low back, getting into those glutes and inner thighs, into the groin. In order to be stable, we do need some mobility. A long muscle is a strong muscle. So giving those muscles that length will help them to be stable and strong. Coming out of your variation of this hip opener, hug your knees in towards you, and we'll do a fun little roll up. So holding the backs of your thighs, go ahead and kick your legs, roll 5 or 6 times, energizing the length of your spine until eventually you come right on up to a seated position. Maybe you need an extra kick to help you up. Maybe you need to use your hands to come up. Once you're up, we'll bring the hands behind you, fingertips pointing away from you. Then feet are hip width apart. Lift your hips, drop your head back. And lower down. Lift up, inhale. Exhale, lower down. And one more, inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. Crawling your hands in front of you, cross your legs, and come up to a hands and knees position. Let's find a gentle left-right motion here. Easy side-to-side movements. And from here, let's pick your right hand up off the floor and thread that arm underneath your body. Your right hand, your right shoulder coming down onto the mat. You can choose to lift your left arm up to sky if it feels good. Or maybe you're landing that left arm down overhead. If you've got your arm up to sky, you can even loop it behind your back. And then let's put the weight onto that right knee. The weight is on your right knee. You can choose to begin to straighten that left leg out with your toes on the floor. Here's already your very first balancing posture. The beauty of this one is that you're already close to the floor. Now, if you feel fancy, you might choose to lift that left leg off the floor. You're balancing yourself on your right arm and your right knee. Can you lift a little higher? For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently lower this down. Inhale your left hand up to sky. Exhale, place your left hand down in front of your face. Take an inhale, open this up, reach high with your right. And then place that right hand down on the floor. Let's come back to that left to right roll of the spine. Returning through center. Take an inhale, lift your left hand to sky. Exhale, cross it underneath your body. Left shoulder down, left arm down. Play with that free arm. Maybe it's reaching up. Maybe it's reaching overhead. Maybe it's hooking behind you. Tummy is nice and strong. Begin to transition your weight onto your left knee. Maybe you're starting to straighten out that right leg, and this might be enough of a challenge for you here. If it feels right, you can go ahead and extend that free leg, that right leg up to sky. We're balancing here. We're keeping the core nice and strong. You're pushing through left knee, left arm. For 5, 4, can you lift higher? 3, 2, and 1. Let this right knee come down. Float this right hand back up to sky and place the right hand down in front of your face. Push through, untwist, open up to the left. Let's bring this hand down on the floor, and one more time, come back to that spinal roll. Right to left, forward, backward, arching and rounding. Begin to tuck those toes under, send the hips up, downward facing dog. And once you're there, pedal out those feet a little bit. One knee bending and then the other. Left to right. Crawl your hands now backwards towards your feet. And coming to a passive forward fold at the back of your mat. Your knees are bent. The upper body simply hangs over the lower body. We can sway side to side. We can nod the head, shake the head. Feel it out. Stopping that motion, bend your knees, roll your way up, slow and steady. Once you're up, give those shoulders a few rolls back and down. From where you are, find a gaze on one spot. Maybe you're looking at a doorknob or a spot on the wall, something that you can really anchor your focus. We'll head into a balancing sequence here. You're going to step onto your right foot. Lift your toes, flare them, and ground them back down. Then from here, let's tuck this left knee upward. You can have your hands on your hips, or reaching out to the sides, or simply resting down beside you. Inhale, can you lift that left knee higher? As you exhale, push your left foot forward. Inhale, bend your knee up again. And exhale, tip forward, kick your heel back behind you, toes point to the floor. Inhale, draw your way up. Exhale, kick your foot forward. Inhale, draw that knee back up. And exhale, kick this leg back behind you. Notice all those little stabilizers on the right leg. Take an inhale, draw this left knee up. Take an exhale, push that left knee forward. Inhale, draw this left knee up. And exhale, kick this leg back behind you. Find what your arms need to do to support you. Inhale, draw this knee forward and upward. If you've got it in you, stay where you are. If you need to step down and shake it out, do that. From here, we're going to take left hand onto left knee. Let this knee turn out to the side. Right arm is your balancing arm out to the right side. Then, coming into tree pose. You have 3 variations. You can step your left foot against the inner right ankle with the toes on the floor. You can step your left foot against the inner right calf, just below the knee. Or you can step your left foot against the inner right thigh. Hands might come to heart center, reaching out or onto the hips. Keeping your heart facing forward, your hips facing forward, draw your shoulders back and down. Notice those small changes within that right foot. These are your stabilizers growing stronger. If you're bouncing around, no problem, just laugh it off. Give it a try again. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, stand it down. Ooh, do you feel that fire right up from the feet, right up from the earth, into your leg, through the foot, through the ankle. Give that right leg a shake. Let's move through this sequence on the left side. So again, find a spot to gaze upon. Maybe that's a doorknob or your favorite artwork on the wall. Let's step your left foot onto the floor, lift your toes, flare them out, and stand those left toes onto the floor. Hands can be on hips or reaching out. Let's draw this right knee up. Take an inhale, lift a little higher. As you exhale, kick your right heel forward. Inhale, draw this right knee up. Exhale, kick your leg back, hinging forward. Inhale, draw your right knee up. Exhale, press that leg up. Inhale, draw the knee up. Exhale, tip back once again. Let's do this sequence once more. Inhale, draw the knee up. Exhale, press that leg out long. Inhale, bend your knee, lift it high. And exhale, tipping. We're going to draw that knee back up. If you need to shake out now. If your balance is feeling pretty good, stay here. Bring your right hand to your right knee, left arm reaching out to the left side. Lift the heart, lift the crown tall. Pausing here. And then let's step this right foot against the inner left leg. Maybe it's the ankle with the toes on the floor. Maybe it's the calf below the knee. Or maybe it's your thigh above the knee. This right kneecap pointing out to the right side without turning your whole body that way. So keep your shoulders and your hips shining forward. Draw your shoulders back and down. Can you push your right toes into your left leg or the floor? Can you press your left toes into the floor? Do you feel all those tiny movements within your toes, your foot, your ankle? Ooh, are things burning a little bit? You can do this. Hang on. Standing a little bit taller. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take an inhale, sweep your arms overhead. And as you exhale, step your foot down, release your arms down. Let's release that fire from your left foot. Circle it out, flare the toes, curl them under. Excellent work. We're coming to the top of our mat. So walk forward to the top of your mat. Your toes point forward, your feet are about hip width apart. Let's draw the shoulders back and down. We're going to sweep our hands back, skim the floor, reach up. Sit into a squat. We've got a wide leg chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink down. From here, we're gonna lift that right foot off the floor and slow, like you're moving through honey, send this leg back into warrior one. Your toes turn slightly out to the right edge of your mat. Your left toes point forward. You're bending into that left knee. Push that right heel into the floor. Inhale here. Now exhale, bend your elbows, open up the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend those elbows. Inhale, reach. Here's your kicker. You're gonna shimmy that right foot forward. And then kick off that right leg. Come into your warrior three or toppling tree, arms beside you. Let's flex that right foot. Shine your heel to the back wall, your toes to the floor. Spin your left hip downward. Reach your arms forward if you can for 5, 4, 3. Are you shaking like me? 2 and 1. Standing split as an option. You can have that leg pointing back or maybe try to charge that leg up to sky. Let's reconnect that right foot to the floor. Feet are hip width apart. Bend your knees. Roll your way up. Beauty. Let's do this sequence on the other side. Bend your knees. Sweep the floor. Sweep up and sit down into your chair. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, sink down. Bring your weight onto your right leg, moving slow like you're moving through honey. Send this left leg back behind you. Whew, make a landing. And then come into warrior one. Your hips and shoulders frame forwards in your warrior one. Your arms reach to sky. Bend into that front knee. Back leg is nice and long. Your left heel pushing into the floor. Left leg straight. Take an inhale, reach higher. Exhale, bend your elbows open into the heart. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your front knee, lunge deep. One more inhale to reach. Exhale to bend. Inhale, reach high. Here's our kicker. Shorten your stance. And when you feel ready, let's launch onto that right leg into warrior three or toppling tree. Are you shaking? So am I. Is your balance a little shaky? Yeah, same here. Toes point to floor, heel presses to the back wall. If you can, reach your arms forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing split or forward fold. And let's step this left foot down beside the right. Hang out here, let your knees bend deep. Grab opposite elbows, sway, rock side to side. Beautiful work here. Arms dangle down, knees bend, roll your way to stand up. Come to your favorite spot on the mat. Maybe that's right in the middle of the mat. Maybe that's on the top of the mat. Your shoulders roll back and down. We find mountain pose, the most stable and one of the most grounding poses in our practice. Anchor your feet into the floor as if they had roots beneath them, traveling down into the earth, towards the very core of our earth. Draw those shoulders back and down, lift through the heart, lift through the crown. And now I invite you to close your eyes. It might feel awkward to close your eyes. It might feel uneasy to close your eyes. It might feel perfectly normal to close your eyes. Sit with that. Then I invite you to bring in a gentle sway left to right. Notice how your weight travels through right foot, through left foot, as you sway right to left, keeping those eyes closed. Now moving back through midline, sway to heels and to toes, very slight. Almost as if you couldn't see that movement happening, but you sure feel it in your toes and your heels. Sway to the heels, sway to the toes. Notice that anchor, that base. Just like trees do, we allow movement. but we maintain that base. Returning through center. Can you push your feet into the floor? Can you lift taller and prouder, shining out through the crown of your head, anchoring down through those toes, those heels, even your fingertips, energizing towards the floor. Imagine that you could let your arms grow a little longer, your legs grow a little longer. As you reach up, take an inhale and open your eyes. Exhale, find your forward fold. Nothing fancy, take an inhale, gaze ahead, maybe slide your hands up your legs. Exhale, forward fold, and make your way down to child's pose. Wide legs, big toes touching, knees wide apart. Settle the hips towards the heels, the belly towards the thighs, the forehead towards the mat. Or perhaps you're resting your forehead on your arms. Observe your breath. Allow your breath to move into your belly, into the rib cage, into the low back, the upper back, and the sides of your body. Perhaps massaging the forehead into the mat. Tip your head right to left. Gently make your way up to hands and knees. And then to a seated position. Holding on to the backs of your thighs. Roll your way down slow and steady onto the mat. Once you're down, take your knees in with you. And back to where we started. Let's come back to that hip opener. Happy baby or butterfly. And you can choose to land that butterfly pose down on the mat as well. A more passive option of this pose. If you're in a lifted hip opener, maybe bringing a gentle rock side to side. Noticing the low back connecting deeply into the mat here. Noticing that length across the inner edges of your legs. Allowing the eyes to close again. Gather your legs back in. Give yourself a tight hug, even lifting your head up towards your knees. Squeeze your hands, curl your toes, squeeze your eyes, squeeze your jaw. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, open. You might choose to pull on those layers, get your sweater on, pull your socks on, maybe put a little dab of oil on your temples, back of your neck, or the insides of your wrists. Remembering that you are allowed to pamper yourself. You are allowed to take those moments of luxury in your day-to-day and apply them here on the mat. If you have something to cover your eyes with, go ahead and use that as we settle into our closing Shavasana. Choosing to flip your palms upward or downward. Whatever feels good in your body. Easy inhales and exhales. Noticing the rise and the fall of your breath, of your chest and your belly with your breath. Notice the warmth that we have generated in this balance practice. The beauty of yoga is that we can be playful, we can be serious, we can sweat, and we can restore. There is such a wide spectrum of movement on the mat that we call yoga. And for that reason, there is always something for everyone. Every age, every stage, every body. Can you feel the back body settling a little deeper into the mat? Imagine your body as a vessel holding liquid. Right now, the liquid in your body has settled down towards the mat, grounding you and settling you heavy on the backs of the arms, the backs of the legs, your glutes, your shoulders, the back of the head, anchoring deeply into the mat. And that liquid has settled downward. That leaves the front of your body, your toes, your shins, your thighs, your belly, your chest, your face, your hands, shoulders, open, light, and free. All at once here, we are feeling both grounded, held, and anchored, but also free, soft, open. I invite you to spend as long as you need here in Shavasana. If you are ready to come out of this pose, invite some movement back to your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. And then create that long line from fingers to toes, maybe arching into the spine. Take an inhale and a full exhale. Rolling onto your side, using your arm as a pillow. Eyes can stay closed. When you feel ready, press your free hand into the floor. Make your way up to a seated position. Eyes can stay closed or gazing softly onto one spot. Root through the sit bones, rise through the crown of the head, draw the shoulders down and back, open heart. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. One more full breath in. And full breath out. Hands can stay in the lap or center on or by the heart. Thanks for bringing your practice here. Thanks for sharing in this time with me, challenging yourself. The light in me appreciates and honors the light in every one of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. See you next time.